Well, hello there. I'm sitting in a 2020 Tesla Model 3 that has about 80,000 miles on it that I got about 2 weeks ago. And today we're taking it on a real world road trip. This isn't some super scientific heavy range test with a bunch of data, so if you're looking for that, go elsewhere. This is just me, as a brand new EV owner, figuring out what it's actually like to take a Tesla on a long distance road trip. Well, how long of a road trip, you might ask? Well, let's take a look at where we're actually going today. We're starting in Janesville, Wisconsin, and then we're going all the way down to Vernon Hills, Illinois, which is in the Chicagoland area, to pick up my friend that's going on this trip with me. Then from there, we're going all the way back up through Wisconsin, all the way up to Minneapolis over in Minnesota. Small note here, while we're in Illinois, we are avoiding all the toll roads, which does make our route a little bit longer, but I live in Wisconsin. I don't want to give any money to Illinois. So all told, this route is about an 8-hour route when you factor in the charging stops that the car has calculated. And the reason I'm doing this is because there's a lot of mixed opinions online about EVs and road trips. And it's kind of hard to tell the difference between what's like anti-EV propaganda and pro-EV propaganda and what's actually just people trying to find out the genuine answer to things. But I wanted to see what's actually true. That's really the main reason that I bought this Tesla. This is a 2020 Tesla Model 3 long range that has around 80,000 miles on it. And the car I had before this was a 2024 model brand new car that I bought from the dealership. And I got rid of that and got this. So this video isn't about numbers, it's about the experience. And the video series I'll be doing as a whole about owning this car is about the experience. What is it like to actually own an older Tesla? And when it comes to road trips, how often do you actually have to stop? How fast does a supercharger fill the battery? I'm not here to prove anything. I just want to see if an EV can handle a long trip without stress, range anxiety, or a PhD in battery management. So let's hit the road and see what it's really like road tripping in a Tesla. Okay, so we've embarked on the first part of our journey here down to Illinois. I know. It's telling me it's going to be about an 8.5 hour drive in total. We're going to see how accurate that is. But what's nice about this, let me show you this. I'm not even driving right now. We're coming up to a stop sign and the car's doing everything on its own. I wish I had a wider lens so that I could show you this better. But I'm literally not driving at all. Car's doing it all on its own. But it's saying we're gonna get to our first stop with 66% battery. Oh, Jesus Christ. Having the car drive itself is something you do not get used to. Okay, we're at an intersection, right? Okay. So it's saying we're gonna get to our first stop with 66% battery. We're gonna see how accurate that actually is. So if it starts going down dramatically, I'm gonna get kind of scared. So, but right now it's actually gone up a percent because when I first started it said 65%, now it says 66%. So we're going in the right direction, but if it starts going up, I'll update you guys. And yeah, looking forward to my first road trip in the Tesla. Okay, so update, we have gained a percent, we now have 67%, but I'm driving now because apparently I wasn't paying attention enough, and it told me that full self-driving was unavailable for the rest of the drive. But I actually know how to fix that because all you have to do is put the car in park and put it back in drive again, then it'll let you use it again. But I think you only have 5 strikeouts before it literally doesn't let you use it again, like at all, ever. I'm paying $99 a month for it, so I don't want that to happen. So I think I just need to pay attention to the road more, actually, is what I'm gathering from this. And for some reason right now, we're going 30 miles an hour on a 55 because there's like a tractor or something in front of us, and I'm turning off of this road so that I can put it in park for a second. Classic Wisconsin, stuck behind a tractor on a 2-lane highway, because that's what happens in Wisconsin. And now I'm pulling into a park right now, and I'm going to show you what happens when I put this in park, because I think it's going to give me a little message. Okay, so I'm going to put it in park right now, and I think it's going to autopilot features warning. Okay, yeah, so it says I have 4 more strikeouts, otherwise I'm done. But the good news is, oh, we've actually gained another percent. We started with 66%, now we have a 68% on our prediction, so that's good. So our efficiency right now is better than what it was predicted to be. So that's good, but we're about to get on the freeway, which I know with gas cars, they're more efficient on the freeway because they have more gears and it can just shift down and run at a lower RPM. But electric cars don't work like that because they only have 1 gear. Some have 2, but these only have 1 gear. So the faster you go, the higher revolutions per minute the electric motor is turning. So it's actually the opposite with electric cars. They're less efficient on the freeway. So we're going to see what happens to our efficiency when we get on the freeway. Okay, we're about to merge onto the freeway. I'm going to try to show this as best as I can. I can't really see where the camera is pointing because I don't have a wide enough lens, and I have to pay attention to the road so it doesn't block me out of using the autopilot, but I hope you can see this okay. And just a note, the car is doing everything by itself. I am not doing any input at all. So we're about to get on the on-ramp. There's a lot of other traffic getting on right now. There's not too much traffic on the actual freeway itself, so it shouldn't be that hard of a merge. Okay, here it goes. No problem. And I also have it in the hurry mode, so it'll drive a little bit faster and pass people more often. So, okay, it wants to get in the left lane already. There it goes. Okay, and the speed limit's 70, and we're going 77, 78. So, yeah, I was kind of worried with this that it would drive like exactly the speed limit, which is not how real people drive. But no, it's driving pretty good. But now I am interested to see what's going to happen with our efficiency now that we're going faster on the freeway and over the speed limit. Because it looks like it's cruising at about 82 right now. So it still says we have 68%. We're going to see if that recalculates and goes down a bit. So I will update you if it does. I heart Illinois traffic. We're at a standstill in a tiny ass fucking town in Richmond. Tiny ass fucking town, and there's still traffic. I fucking hate Illinois. Okay, update. We're 3 minutes away, and we've gained another percent. 69% is what we're estimated to be there at now, and since we're only 3 minutes away, I'm guessing that's what we're gonna actually be at when we get there. So we started off initially with 66% predicted, and we're ending with 69% predicted. So we gained 3% throughout the trip. So that's actually much better than I expected, because pretty much every other time I've driven somewhere, I ended up with a percent less or the percent that it originally calculated with. I've never ended up with more percent than what it actually calculated with. So very good so far. Okay, so we've officially arrived with 69%. So very good. I was not expecting to gain percentage. That might have been because the traffic was pretty bad, so there was a lot of stopping and going. But very good. Our next stop is going back the way we came from Janesville, which is where we started, to use the Supercharger there. It wants us to charge for 8 minutes there, and then our next stop is 15 minutes in Black River Falls, Wisconsin, and then we should be able to make it there with 10% left. Now, I'm a little worried about this because if our percent goes down too much, you know, we might end up being there with 5% or even less. But I looked, once we get to the hotel in Minneapolis, there's a Supercharger that's like 5 minutes away from there. So I'm not too worried about getting there with 5%, but we'll see how it goes. So we made it to our first stop, which was supposed to be Janesville to charge for 8 minutes, but it rerouted us to Wisconsin Dells to charge. So that's where we are now. We had 9% left, and that's what it initially predicted, so that's good. We only need to charge for 7 minutes to make it to the next charger, but we're gonna go get some food at the Taco Bell, so we're gonna let it charge for longer. So see you at Taco Bell. Hello, editing me here. I just need to clarify this because I didn't do a great job of explaining in the clip. We did not get rerouted because we didn't have enough battery. It was the opposite. We got rerouted because we were being so efficient that it said, you don't need to stop in Janesville to charge. You can actually make it all the way to Wisconsin Dells with 9% battery left, and that was accurate. We got there with 9% battery. Now, the distance between Wisconsin Dells and Janesville is 89 miles, give or take, and it's about an hour and a half drive. So it said, you know what, you're being so efficient, you can make it all the way to Wisconsin Dells. You don't need to stop in Janesville. I felt like I just needed to clarify that because even me editing this, I didn't even fully understand what I was saying. So just leaving the Taco Bell now. We only needed to charge for 8 minutes, but we ended up charging for probably about 20 minutes. So we're walking to the car. We have 88% now. So I wonder if it's going to reroute us to a later charger because we have a lot more battery than anticipated, but we will see. I am cool and fun and okay, back in the car. Now that we've charged a bunch extra, we have 93%, and it's saying we can make it directly there. There's 10% left, which is fine because there's a supercharger right by the hotel. So hopefully we make it there with 10%. Let's find out. So we made it to our second stop, except we weren't supposed to have a second stop, you remember? So as we started driving, the arrival percentage went from 10%, eventually it got down to 5%, and then it rerouted us to the place where we were originally supposed to stop if we charged for the original amount of time normally. So it's not that big of a deal, and it only wants us to charge for 4 minutes here, but I'm going to do a little bit longer just so we have more charge once we actually get to Minneapolis. And funnily enough, for some reason, so we stopped at 2 superchargers, both of them are at Culver's for some reason. Not sure why, but that's funny because I used to work at Culver's and we're in Wisconsin, so maybe that's a Wisconsin thing. Okay, important update. So guess what? We ran out of battery. Just kidding, we made it here. It said 28% we were gonna get with initially, but we arrived with 29%. He's just checking us into the hotel right now if it'll focus. So how was the trip there? Well, on the way to Illinois, I was impressed that we got there with 2% more than what it predicted, but going up towards Minnesota through Wisconsin, the percent was dropping much more than it had initially predicted. Will this thing focus? But we still made it here regardless, and the thing I was worried about the most was just like running out of battery with like no chargers nearby, but there's so many superchargers around, like there's a lot more than I thought there was, so that wasn't a problem at all. Like even though we had to reroute and take an extra stop to charge for a few minutes, we still got there, and there was plenty enough superchargers around for us to go to if we needed other options. So what I can say about this car so far is that it's a car, and I think that's one of the biggest compliments I can give it, because as I'm going on this trip, I'm realizing, okay, like this is just a car. Like the faster you go, the more range or battery or gas you're gonna use. It works like a car. The effect is a little bit more dramatic the faster you go in an electric car. Like my range and efficiency is much better in the city than it is like going 80 on the highway. But what is nice is that I didn't have to drive the entire time because the full self-driving got it covered. I will say it hangs in the left lane a little bit too much, but he's coming back right now. I'll check in with you guys later. Yeah, so I never checked in with you guys again. This is me editing this video now like 2 months later, and I never made an outro to this video. So let me finish what I was saying there. So the full self-driving, when it's on the hurry mode, so there's 3 modes. There's chill, standard, and hurry, and that just depends on how aggressive you want it to drive. Now, when it's in hurry, it always stays in the left lane. It never gets out of the left lane, which is borderline dangerous. I don't know how they have not like fixed this with a software update, and they still haven't. This is like 2 months later, they still haven't. It's borderline dangerous to use because it once it goes into the left lane to pass somebody, it never gets out of the left lane unless somebody literally comes up behind you going at least 30 miles an hour faster than you. Then it's like, oh, maybe I should get over. But it doesn't wait until they're like this close to your bumper to get over. It's ridiculous. So now when I use it, I only use it on standard because it's kind of dangerous to use on hurry because it just blows my mind. It never gets out of the left lane. It's ridiculous. But to wrap up my thoughts on the charging experience and this video as a whole, it was good. Like I literally at this point, I'd only had this car for 2 weeks, maybe not even 2 weeks. And I really did not know what to expect going into it. And the experience was good. Using a supercharger with a Tesla, you can now use superchargers with other electric vehicles, and that has a different process. But if you have a Tesla at a Tesla supercharger, all you do is you literally back into the stall and plug it into your car. That's it. Everything else is just automatic through the app. Like you already have your credit card in there and whatever. Because I've used other EV fast chargers before, and they are so hard to activate. This is so simple. Now, what about the availability of superchargers? Are there enough superchargers around? Yes, they're literally everywhere. Like they're in the middle of nowhere. They're everywhere. You would be shocked when you're just driving somewhere and you're like, oh, there's a supercharger there. They're all over the place. That's not even a problem anymore. That used to be a big problem with EVs, is that there's just not enough chargers nationwide. There definitely is now, because just Tesla's network is like so expansive, and now there's other networks that are expanding to try to compete with Tesla, and there's other networks that you can use if Tesla somehow doesn't have one wherever you are, but that's not even a problem anymore. And last thing I'll say is, how accurate was the GPS? Like, was the range that it predicted actually accurate? Well, yes and no. Sometimes it was bang on. Sometimes it underpredicted. Sometimes it overpredicted. So it really depends on the situation. Like, it really does. There really is no definitive answer. Yes, it's good at estimating it, or no, it's not, because it really depends on the situation. The thing it depends on the most is how you're driving, because you might ask, okay, do I have enough range to make it from here to here? Well, it depends. How are you driving? Are you going to drive that at 130? Then maybe not. But if you drive it at 70, then yeah. So it depends. The biggest factor is how fast you're going, because electric vehicles are much less efficient driving at highway speeds than they are in city driving. When it's stop and go, you're using regen braking, you're not driving as fast because they don't have gears. They can't upshift to a higher gear to run at a lower RPM on the highway. So to wrap this up, was it a good experience? Yes. Is doing a long road trip in an electric vehicle, specifically a Tesla, in the US even like an issue anymore? Do you really even have to worry about it? No, you don't. And that's what I want you to take away from this video, is that there's really no like big red herring here that, oh my God, the battery exploded and the battery just died out of nowhere. It didn't. Because at the end of the day, like I said in that previous clip, this car is a car. Like, it runs out of juice, gas, electricity, whatever, you fill it up. It's that simple. It works like a car. And that's where I'm going to leave this video. I'm going to make many other videos about this car. Definitely doing a long-term review of this. I've had it for probably about 3 months now. So, and it's going well. So I'm definitely going to be doing a review in the future. So stay subscribed for that if you would like to see that. I'm going to be making various videos about this because Teslas seem to be very misunderstood these days, and sometimes for legitimate reasons, but they are cars at the end of the day, and let's look at them as how they are for cars. So that's where I'm going to leave this today. I hope you enjoyed this very scientific experiment we did, and if you want to see future Tesla videos, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you next time.